we got next?
So, I was sick for a couple days.
Yep.
And I watched a bunch of movies.
Yep.
A bunch.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to talk about them a bit. You probably haven't seen any of them. Actually,
Probably
you might have
not.
seen one or two.
I probably haven't. I haven't seen any movies lately.
You know me and watching things.
They were all really good, though. I really liked most of them. So we'll go through them. I added a couple that I had watched in the couple days before.
Are they alphabetically ordered?
They are ordered in order of score that I gave them.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
Are we starting with the lowest score and moving on to the highest?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
That sounds
Okay, good. Okay, so the lowest score is a 7 out of 10. Which
Okay.
is pretty good, right?
It's
I watched
decent.
a bunch of good movies. Well, 7 out of 10 is pretty good. When you think there's like a scale of 10 and 1 is like fucking awful, 5 has to be like
Middle of the
fine.
road.
Yeah,
Right?
and like some of my favorite things on IMDb only have like a 7.4.
Yeah. Yeah. That happens a lot with aggregated scores though,
Yeah.
because people will be like 1, 1, 1.
Yeah.
So,
That's an aggravated score.
aggravated score. God damn it. Okay, so, Girl on the Train. It was good. It's a, I guess a murder mystery. It's a mystery. Basically this girl, is taking the train from, I guess, an outskirt of Manhattan to Manhattan every day. And she just sort of like watches people. She goes by this row of houses. And she witnesses a girl she sees every day with her husband with another guy in the house. And yeah, so that sort of spurs this whole thing that's going on. And she has some serious issues as well. She's an alcoholic and all that. It has good twists, actually. If the movie was less messy, around the second act, everything just sort of becomes a bit of a jumbled mess. But I totally think it's still worth watching. Good performances.
Who's in it?
I don't know her name. Actually,
Well, fair enough.
let's open up IMDb. I can do this on the go.
Sure. Because I might ask you that about the other ones.
Yeah. The Train. Emily Blunt. That's right. That was Emily
Oh.
Blunt.
Oh. Who's that?
Who is Emily Blunt?
I can't see from here.
Emily Blunt. Let's see. She was in Looper, Edge of Tomorrow, Sicario, Devil Wears Prada, Into the Woods.
The Wind Rises.
Oh, yeah.
Still haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. 5-Year Engagement. She's just a bunch of stuff.
Okay, so nothing I've seen. Got it.
Probably not.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so 7 out of 10. If it wasn't... Like, maybe if they gave the movie another draft, like another rewrite, it could have probably gotten a 9 or a 10 for me. It was just, like, messy.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it other than that. Also, I noted when I was, like, writing about this that I thought multiple times, man, my dad would have liked this movie. I don't know why. I don't know what that means, but I think my dad would have liked the movie.
Fair.
Yeah. Blair Witch, which I actually watched a little bit before I got sick. But the new Blair Witch movie, also 7 out of 10. It was way better than the first one, in my opinion. A lot of people hold the first one as a classic that started a
I
genre.
don't like the first
I thought the
one.
first one was kind of stupid, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember...
And I hate that shaky camera
that's
style.
the thing.
That's why I hated Cloverfield.
It was worse than Cloverfield for the shaky cam, though.
It really was, yeah.
The reason I hate the first one so much is because it made people think they can get away with that kind of shaky cam.
Yeah.
And people still do it to this day because of that movie.
Yeah.
There were at least 2 movies that spawned the found footage genre before Blair Witch. Poughkeepsie Tapes and I forget the name of the other one. They were infinitely better than that one, but that one is what popularized it. So, annoying.
So was this the same like found footage shaky?
Yeah, it's basically 20 years later, the girl's brother goes to go find out what happened, and he brings his friends, and they have like a drone, so it's actual like cool footage. You get like drone footage and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's some actual interesting things that happen in it. One scene kind of like blew my mind. I wasn't expecting it. It was good.
Man, the original one got parodied so much, too.
Yeah.
Everything that gets that popular gets parodied.
That's true. But I mean, that one got like a lot of parodies. Hell, I tried to do a parody of it. like, no shit, when I was in high school, I tried to do a fucking parody of that movie.
I think everyone did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, do recommend if you're a fan of horror and don't mind a bit of shaky cam. Next movie is The Visit, also a 7 out of 10. The Visit is Shyamalan's return from 3 terrible career-ending mistakes. It's sort of, I would place it between The Village and Lady in the Water.
Okay.
That sort of like, it's not terrible,
But it's okay.
it's fine. It's a good psychological thriller. If you're
Okay.
into horror, and it's not even a gory horror, it's actually quite creepy.
I probably will like it then.
Oh no, the audio from the computer's on, so the computer's like updating or something.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I
Yeah.
heard something, yeah. I was like, what is that?
Yeah. It has its moments. It's actually really funny and silly as well, but maintains like a good psychological horror kind of thing going on. And it's a little bit different for Shyamalan as well. Like, I've never seen him do that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, worth a watch if you like psychological thriller.
What is it about?
Okay, so, yeah, I guess I could talk about
Yeah, that helps.
Basically, this woman hasn't talked to her parents in like 20 years, 15 years, something like that. She's got 2 kids, and she hasn't talked to her parents because she wanted to marry this guy that she liked, and they didn't want her to. So she's just like, fuck this, I'm gonna go live with this guy, and I don't need your bullshit in my life. She goes, has kids, and the oldest is probably like 14 or 15-year-old girl, and then there's like this 9 or 10-year-old boy. They want to know the grandparents, and they kind of get back in touch with the grandparents a little bit. And the grandparents invite the kids to go visit them. And the mother's like, okay, sure. She can have a vacation as well while they do that. Cool. So the kids go on a train, go visit the grandparents, and the grandparents are weird. There's weird stuff going on there, and it's odd and creepy, and it's weird.
I feel like I saw a
I
trailer
bet
for this.
the grandparents were dead the whole time.
But yeah, it's got a
Yeah,
fun little thing going on.
I'll probably maybe watch it.
Yeah,
Probably
it's enjoyable.
maybe.
It's actually really funny. So the girl, like the 14-year-old girl, she's making a documentary about it. She wants to win an Oscar with the documentary.
Wait. Like within the movie?
Yeah. The little girl is going around with the camera, being like to her brother, go stand by that tree. It'll look dramatic. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That happens throughout the movie. It's really funny. And the little boy is like this self-proclaimed like awesome rapper. So every once in a while he'll just like rap about shit, and it's ridiculous and kind of hilarious. He starts replacing swears with, what was it, like 90s pop stars or something? Like Shakira! Stuff like that. It's funny.
I can dig it.
Yeah,
Okay.
the movie was fun. It's not definitely a high point for Shyamalan, but
No.
I mean, it's definitely a stepping stone coming back to Split, which is also on this list. Next movie, La La Land. I gave an 8 out of 10. Almost gave it lower. What I wrote about it was that it is a self-flating movie about Hollywood. I'd say I have no idea how this movie won so many Golden Globes and is being considered for Oscars, but I do. Hollywood loves to blow itself. The movie's fun. It's happy. The music is enjoyable, not really memorable. It's a musical, obviously. And good performances from Easy A chick, whatever her name was.
Yeah, I can never remember. And I get her confused with some other one that I can never
Emma
remember
Stone.
the name of.
Emma Stone and Ryan
Emma Stone.
Gosling. Good performances.
Oh, Gosling.
Actually, I'm starting to really like that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another reason on this list. Yeah, it's just a musical. It's not the best movie of the year, and it never should have won the Golden Globe for best movie of the year. It's perfectly fine and enjoyable, but I don't get it. Well, like I said, I do get it. It's blowing itself, so. John Wick, 8 out of 10. First John Wick. I just wrote one sentence. The next action classic in the echelon of Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, and Taken. It's going to be another one that we remember 20 years down the road and have fond memories of. Do you know what it is, John Wick?
Not really.
No. Keanu Reeves, at the very beginning, his wife dies. He's a hitman, so he leaves the business to be with this woman. She gets sick, she dies, and after the funeral, a dog arrives at the door. It was a gift from her post-death.
Oh.
The kid of some mafia boss, not really mafia. This movie actually has this world in it. Like, it's almost like science fiction because there's world building of this sort of like, what's the word for it? It's just like stuff going on that doesn't really happen, and like there's this like currency, this mysterious currency that they use in the movie, and like weird stuff like that.
Bitcoin.
But yeah, it's really cool. It's got like another world in it, so it's almost a little bit science fiction-y. But so this mafia boss's kid sees his car, which is an awesome car. I can't remember what it is. I don't like cars. So he follows him home and beats the crap out of him with some friends and kills his dog.
Oh.
Yeah. Gets up the next day, goes and kills like 80 people trying to get back at those guys for killing his dog. It's fucking great. Dude has like perfect shot. He's a hitman. It's just like whatever. Just awesome action sequences. The budget's super low, so you don't get any of this like, billion angles, all this stuff going on. It's like Keanu Reeves punching people in the face and shooting them. Like,
I like
and
that.
it's awesome choreography. Like, they spent their money on actually taking time to choreograph this stuff and make sure that it looks awesome. So
And the moral of the story is do not fuck with Keanu's dog.
yeah. When I talk about it, I want to make it higher. Like give it a 9 out of 10 instead of 8 because it's so good.
I do have to see that one still. Especially with the next one coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
When
it's
did
tomorrow,
that one
right?
come out?
This one came out in 2014.
Oh, okay.
The other one comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's probably pre-screenings tonight.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Same with Lego Batman.
Yeah. Moonlight, which is nominated for Best Picture. It's one of those sort of Forrest Gumpy, like show him as a kid, middle adult, all through his life kind of thing, about a black kid living in around Miami, I think.
Okay.
It's what it's like to live in poverty. What it's like, that experience of life that we don't really get.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting and really good performances, and they had 3 distinctly different actors because he was 10 years old, he's 17 years old, and then he's like 32 years old. So 3 distinctly different people portraying the same person. I felt the first 2 acts were really good and really interesting, but the third act kind of dropped off and didn't really hold me.
Mm-hmm.
So it got an 8 out of 10. I don't know if I'd make it Best Picture. There's some good performances, but I don't know really where I'd place them compared to all the other performances this year, but they're good. And it's a good story. It's one of those ones where it's just like good to know, because we will never understand what that's like. There was actually one scene, if there's like an Oscar for best scene in a movie this year, this movie would have it. The scene is just a conversation and nothing else happens in the scene except for that conversation, and it is so powerful. It's incredible, actually. I was like, whoa.
I was like, whoa.
That scene was like, whoa.
But Keanu wasn't even in it.
Keanu wasn't even in it.
Whoa.
Not that you know. I also watched Nocturnal Animals, which it was, I give it an 8 out of 10. It was good performances. It had Amy Adams as
her.
I like her too. This wasn't her, I mean, I guess it wasn't really like a focus on her all the time.
Yeah.
She didn't perform that much in it. But she was the main character. She's this woman who, when she was younger in college, like maybe early 20s, she fell in love with this writer, Jake Gyllenhaal.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal too. He was really good in this movie, actually. And she comes from the rich family, and you know what the rich bitch parents are like, don't marry the writer kind of thing.
Yeah.
There was actually a conversation between her and her mother that her mother was like, date him as long as you want, do what you need to do, but do not marry him. And she goes on to say, the things you love about him now are going to be the things in a few years that will make you hate him. And, like, it makes you hate her, and it makes you be like, yeah, don't talk to your mother, she's not cool. And her mother ends up being right. Mm-hmm. She's this person, she ended up leaving the writer, and she's married to this douchebag guy.
Is Jake Gyllenhaal the writer?
Yes. And that's just like pre-story. Mm-hmm. So now it's 20 years after she left him, and he sends her this package, and it's a manuscript for a book that he's publishing in a couple months. Okay. And he writes a note with it. It's like, hey, I took your advice to write from the heart, and this is getting published in a couple months. I want you to read it. And the movie is basically her reading this book. You see what's happening in the book on screen as if it were a movie, with her and Jake Gyllenhaal playing the main characters in it. And it's really, really interesting. The movie is literally just metaphor. Like, the movie is just metaphor, or the novel within the movie is just metaphor for the relationship that they had. And you sort of cut between, like, backstory from, like, their old relationship and, like, all that. And it's really interesting, but it's another one of those movies that doesn't have a huge payoff. And in order to get that payoff, you have to sort of dwell on the ending. Like, what was that really? Because the ending is literally just like, she goes to do something, and then it's just like, she sits there and it's done. And you're like, I don't quite get it. You have to really think about it. Mm-hmm. But worth the watch.
Yeah,
I mean...
that sounds good.
Yeah. So, on to the 9 out of 10s. I watched Split. Mm-hmm. And holy crap, James McAvoy. Like, when people said that dude can act, the dude can act. Like, there's this point where everybody knows he plays his character with 23 personalities. There's this point where he starts flicking through them. Like, his brain is snapping, and he keeps changing. And it is incredible to watch.
Nice.
Other than that, it's actually a really fun thriller. And it also has this sort of, like, otherworldly feel to it as well. Like, it doesn't take place in our sort of universe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it... So, he kidnaps these 3 girls. And one of these girls has been abused by her uncle. And they cut in sequences of her experience with her uncle that just feel really out of place. Mm-hmm. It's just jarring when it happens. I feel like it did need to be there in the movie. You need to know to understand the girl, but it just wasn't edited properly, and I guess it's on Shyamalan.
Probably, yeah.
But it just really felt out of place every single time it happened. It happens about 5 times. And I think there was one time that it felt like that was a good change, but every time it happened, you're like, wait, what is going... Oh, her again, right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Still, it was a really fun movie and really interesting, and Shyamalan definitely back to form. I'd place it around Signs and Unbreakable quality. Personally. Right. It's really good. I'll probably see it again. I will see it again. I watched Hidden Figures. Do you guys know what Hidden Figures is?
I keep hearing the title, but I don't know anything about it.
I heard about it. I can't remember.
I keep saying it's good. That's all I know.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Give it 9 out of 10. Yeah. It's basically NASA back in their early 50s when they were trying to be the first person in orbit, but the first people to put someone in orbit. Russia beat them. Mm-hmm. So it's actually about these 3 black women that were working at NASA and their computers before there was actually computers. They had computers, but they're just like, no one knew how to use them yet properly. Mm-hmm. So one of the black women took it upon herself to learn how to code for these computers that no one knew how to use yet. So she did that, and that was her part of the story. One of them was a computer, because they did computing for them. They crunched all the numbers to make sure everything was right. And
She was a computer.
no, they were called computers back then. They had a room for, I think there was a sign on the room that said that colored computers. It was for all the black women that were
Oh my
computers.
god.
Yeah. It's
These days, all computers are in color.
yeah.
I'll see myself there.
Is this a true story?
Yes. Yeah. 3 real women. What are you talking about? These 3 women had critical roles.
That's on right now, actually.
Yeah. Critical roles in. I feel like the camera turned off. 1 sec.
No, it's still going.
Is it?
Yep, I can see it from here. Still going.
I'm gonna turn this just so. They had critical roles in making NASA function the way it was. We never would have gotten into orbit, like had someone in orbit, without them. So it's basically just a story that not a lot of people know out of history, obviously because they were black, and more people need to know. And it made it a funny and fun experience too. It wasn't like a super drama, even though it had like, obviously it was wrought with racism and whatnot, but it was really, really good. The character development was really great. There's this scene where one of the girls, they need to go to the washroom, but they have segregated washrooms. And in the building they're working in, they don't have a colored washroom. She has to go 40 minutes across campus to do it. So she'd run, and this happens a couple times. And her boss is like, where the fuck are you going for 40 minutes every day? And she's like, well, you don't have any washrooms for my kind of people here. And he sort of is like, oh shit. She's like the most important person on my team, and she can't even use our washroom. And it just cuts to him with a crowbar smashing down the sign that says colored washroom. I think at the other washroom, smashing down the sign that said white washroom. It's like, nice. That was awesome.
Nice.
You know, I'm glad that we're at a point now where these stories can be told in a format that makes them accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
And I really hope we see more like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are getting lots more like that. So it's great. Yeah, fun movie. Really important story. Worth supporting. Just watch it.
Cool.
9 out of 10, Kubo and the Two Strings.
I do want to see that still.
That was a fun, exciting movie. I don't even really want to say anything about it.
I've watched a ton of analysis videos and stuff on it, like for what parts of what mythologies they take from. And
Oh,
all
that
this
would be
other
interesting to see, actually.
Yeah, like I think Gaijin Goomba did a couple of really good ones on it.
Yeah.
For like his, different culture videos and whatnot.
Yeah.
And no, I still really want to see that movie because everything I saw about it made me really excited to see it, and then I just never got a chance to see it.
Yeah. It's actually, I heard someone say this, and I was like, really? So I had to watch it to figure that out. They were like, it's probably the best Zelda movie we're going to get. And it is. It basically, he has to go on this quest to get
Pieces of
armor. Yeah, like breastplate, helmet, and sword. And that's the Zelda thing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Does anyone say it's dangerous to go alone take this?
No, sadly.
Because I would totally put something like that in a movie just for fun.
All right. Watch that movie. It was really great. On to the 10 out of 10s. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10 out of 10s.
Holy shit.
I watched a lot of good movies. Manchester by the Sea. This one's nominated for Best Actor and Best Picture, and deservedly so.
I give it a 7.8 out of 10. Too much water.
There was a lot of water. I'll just read what I wrote about this here. Yeah. Last time I felt like this about a movie, I had watched Blue Valentine. Have you guys seen Blue Valentine? It is just depression.
Okay.
Yeah. The movie was incredible, but I came out of it wanting to kill myself. Like, Christ, man, what are you trying to do to me? Just pretty much sadness.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hate to give such a blatant Oscar bait like this such a high score, but it really is great. Like, it's very, very clearly just Oscar bait. They made this movie to win awards, and I hate that. I really, really hate that, but I have to think this was Fox Searchlight, which means it was essentially an indie film. So maybe not. Maybe it was like they made this movie and people were like, "This is really great. You should get this in the Academy." I
Yeah.
hope that's what it was. It really, really felt like Oscar
Like, just
bait,
straight up Oscar bait. Yeah.
but it could have been a passion project. I don't know. I have three movies that are like my favorite of the year here. Okay, The Nice Guys. Have you guys seen anything about The Nice Guys?
No.
That's the Ryan Gosling and
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
I almost said Kurt Russell.
Wrong Russell. Yeah, no, Russell Crowe. I want to see that. I have not yet.
Before you see that, you need to watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's the same writer and director, Shane Black. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is one of my favorite movies of all time. It is hilarious, and Shane Black just has his own... I lost the word. I'm going to use the word style because it works. I had a more fancy word for a smarter person, but it's gone. Yeah. He uses mystery. There's always a lot of mystery in his movies, especially these two. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and The Nice Guys are very much a mystery, but they are fucking hilarious. Every time I watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I've seen it at least 20 times now, I still laugh at it, and there's always something else I find to laugh at. Like, all the humor is so subtle, be it just like he walks past someone and someone says something in the background that's reacting to what's going on, but you don't notice it because that's not the main part of the movie. It just happens in passing.
I love stuff like that.
And just so much of that happens in these movies. He's such a good writer for just those things. Not only that, there's usually a good big action sequence in the third act, and there's usually some action throughout that's pretty good. He blends it all so well. And I think it's his humor that really sells me on his stuff. And he's the reason I think Iron Man 3 is underrated, because he wrote Iron Man 3. And I like that movie a lot. It definitely, obviously, he couldn't make it his own, but I think he did what he could with what he was given, and I liked it better than Iron Man 2, for sure. Maybe even better than Iron Man 1.
You know what my favorite part about Iron Man 3 was?
What's that?
The very beginning.
What was it?
Because the first two Iron Man movies, you know, you get the logos come by, and then, like, one of the first things you hear is some fucking AC/DC song or whatever, right? And I have gone on record numerous times, I hate AC/DC.
Me
right?
too.
They are music by numbers, right? They're the paint by number equivalent for music. And the fact that what they do has gotten them so much acclaim from everyone, like everyone is sucking their dicks, I hate that. Right?
So, I'm glad we're all in agreement.
So, after the fucking titles and shit, and Iron Man 3 starts up, and you hear, "Yo, listen up, here's the story," and I'm like, yes! I mean, I know, because it made sense because it was set, like, New Year's of 99, like, going into 2000, right? So it's right around that time, but I'm like, did they just throw some motherfucking Eiffel 65 in my Iron Man? I think they did. I'm sold.
You and your Eiffel 65.
Dude, I fucking love those guys!
Anyways, go watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and then The Nice Guys.
I will. Eventually.
I will watch those with you, because I will watch those movies a million times.
Fair enough.
Room won Best Actress and was nominated for Best Picture last year.
Not to be confused with The Room.
Yeah, this is just Room. I actually have the book. I was wanting to read the book first, but I was like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It took me a year to realize that, but ended up watching it. And definitely deserved Best Actress.
Because I'm just saying, one day we need to watch The Room.
We should watch The Room. Yeah, I agree.
I'm reminded of a meme that I saw of Mark Nato, and just the tagline was, "Oh, hi, Mark." It was like...
Anyways.
Yeah.
Brie Larson won Best Actress for it, and basically she's a woman who's kidnapped at 17 and kept in a room and impregnated, has a 5-year-old son, and she's just like, well, I gotta get him out of here, because it's almost done from the kid's perspective. There's a lot of, like, introspection with the kid, like, he'll be saying, today I saw this, and this is what this is, but he's saying all these incorrect things about the world, because she, like, doesn't want to make him sad that he's not out in the world, so he doesn't actually think there's a world outside this room. He just says, room, we live in room, and that's his world. And she ends up getting him out. And yeah, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone else. Oh, it stopped recording. 1 second.
And unfortunately, he gets out during the Trump administration, and it's just...
Wants to go back.
Yeah. Go back to room. Go back to room.
But yeah, it's a really good movie. Definitely pretty much just drama. If you're into the drama thing, you can watch it and really appreciate it.
Alright.
But yeah.
The show I'm watching right now is actually a lot more drama than I thought it would be.
Riverdale?
No, aside from that one. Okay, not the show I'm watching right now, but the show I'm
Literally on the
yeah,
screen.
I can see a hand and a phone. I think it's Veronica's hand, and Betty's calling her.
Yeah, Betty's calling
Yeah,
her.
and there's some stuff written down on a piece of paper and a black ballpoint pen.
Yes.
I bet she's writing something about the killer. Dylan Doyley. It's him.
Must be.
Anyway, continuing on. Next movie.
Yeah. Ah, right. This movie I was saying was my favorite movie of the year before Nice Guys, and now I can't decide. But I watched Arrival again. And goddamn, that movie is so good because it knows me so well and what I find interesting. And yeah, it's a very academic sci-fi movie.
Okay.
Aliens come to Earth. They land in 12 different spots in the world, and they just sit there. They don't come out of their ship. They open a door every 15 hours or something like that for someone to go in, and they stand behind this glass thing, and they keep their atmosphere within. You can see there's cloudy stuff in there. It's their atmosphere.
So do you see the aliens?
Yeah.
Are they scary?
No.
No?
Not really.
Oh, man. Oh.
It's not really about that. It's just they're weird
Yeah.
and different, and I don't think I've seen anything quite like them. But it's just about communication. It's about language and communication.
Yeah,
and
right. I did remember
Amy
hearing
Adams.
about this.
Yeah, Amy Adams is a language professor, one of the best in the world,
yeah.
and she goes with Hawkeye to he's a scientist. That's why they bring a language person and a scientist person to go figure this out.
He's
and
a scientist with a bow and an arrow. That's,
and they
the thing.
try to communicate with them. They try to figure out why they're here, and they're basically working for the U.S. government to figure out what they can.
Yeah.
And early on in the movie, they're also communicating with the other governments, being like, well, what are you getting from them and whatnot. And yeah, I'm not going to blow the twist. It's very minimalist sci-fi, but there is a good sort of sci-fi twist.
Pretty sure we did talk about it a bit during the good movies of this year, too.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I know about it.
Oh, speaking of aliens, though. So, I finished watching season 2 of Voltron Legendary Defender. There was one episode where they went to a space mall, which was fucking great.
It's not as good as a space arcade, but
1,000 years ago, when 2 of the main characters, who were in hibernation for a long time, right, when they were active in the universe, this race of people had basically shady fucking trader moons and shit like that, where you could fucking black market type shit, basically, right? And now 1,000 years later, they've just become giant fucking space mega malls, right? They had a total Paul Blart character in it, which was great.
That's awesome.
They had a guy selling fucking space knives that, cut shit paper thin and cut through rocks and shit, and he was voiced by the fucking ShamWow guy. Legit by the ShamWow guy. But the best part was the fact that they found a shop run by, the standard depiction of, a fucking gray alien, like you see in all the abduction stories and shit like that, just selling a bunch of random shit he stole from Earth. Oh, it was he had a cow. It was great.
That's so good.
It was so good. I highly recommend anybody who wants to watch that show, watch Voltron Legendary Defender. So good. Anyway, please continue.
One movie left.
Cool.
Last 10 out of 10. The Red Turtle. This is a movie
About Raphael.
My favorite turtle.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Donnie.
Mikey was always my favorite. Nunchucks, pizza.
Venus.
We don't talk about that one. We don't talk about that one. Although that was part of the group of turtles that met the Power Rangers, so
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, because they were both being done by the same studios,
right? That's right.
So they had a Power Rangers, I think, in space crossover with Next Mutation.
Right.
So I'm one series away from that, so I'll let you know how that goes. Because I'm watching Turbo right now.
So yeah, The Red Turtle. It's produced by Studio Ghibli, but it's not a Studio.
Stublio. It's not a Stublio film.
It's not a Studio Ghibli film though. Basically, I believe what I understand happened was Miyazaki retired, and they're like, "What do?" And they took notice of this Dutch.
Retired.
Yeah, they took notice of this Dutch animator. I don't know his name, and they sent him an email, and it was basically like, "Hey, if you're ever thinking about making a feature, let us know. We'll help." And he was like, "Holy shit!" And
We will call him the animating Dutchman.
yeah, pretty much. And he just whipped up the idea for this in a day just to get the email back, like, yes, help me with this now, kind of thing. And that was this movie. It's very much like a fairy tale myth, like a Greek myth kind of thing, something you might hear in that.
In legend, basically.
Yeah. And it's like a castaway kind of thing. Dude gets lost at sea, ends up going and living on an island, deserted island, and this just tells his life, beginning to end, and what happens there. And there's this really weird thing. I was like, wait, is this supposed to be metaphorical for something? I never figured it out, but the movie's so goddamn beautiful. Like, it is an incredible movie. Not a single word in it, except hey. But that's not.
And listen, because Navi.
God damn it.
No.
Like, yeah, he makes noises and stuff, but like, there's no words. He doesn't talk to anyone and anything like that. Like, who goes and says, "I'm gonna make a movie with no dialogue"? Like, that is fucking brave. Like, I couldn't make a film without dialogue. Like, I wouldn't know how to make something interesting happen like that. Like, I don't think I would ever try to go about that. And the dude fucking did it with the help of Studio Ghibli.
Nice.
And I seriously think that it should win Best Animated Picture, and if not, be nominated for Best Picture. Which happens, by the way. Animated pictures do get nominated for Best Picture, even though they can win the animated picture thing. Realize that. But they, in the Academy, have admitted that they don't even watch the animated movies.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
So,
They just
Zootopia's gonna win.
One, yeah.
And not the thing is, like, award shows like the Academy Awards are meant to bring notice to movies that haven't gotten notice.
Yeah.
Does any Disney movie need to be noticed more? Like, they should just be forfeited out of the Academy for that, right? It's fucking stupid. Anyways, that movie is fucking great, and if you like Studio Ghibli, it's very much in the similar style, very artistic, and it's super, super beautiful. Yeah, so watch that one. Definitely support that one, because
the Academy won't.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great, and those movies are movies you should watch. I can't believe I watched all of those within like 2 days.
Well, you were not at work for
a
couple of days there.
But like, that's just a lot of awesome movies. Like, it's so rare to like not watch a bad movie.
Yeah.
Within 12 movies.
Yeah,
shit.
that's impressive.
All I did over the course of a couple of days was finish off Zeo and start watching Turbo.
God damn it.
Well, actually, you know what? I mean, I guess
what different lives we live.
I know. I mean, I guess I did also catch up on X-Aid and finish Zyuohger as well.
What different lives we live.
Yeah.
All I did is rewatch The Office for like the 10th time.
I've never watched The Office, and I kind of don't want to.
Oh, it's so funny.
People seem to either love it or hate it, and
it's so funny.
I thoroughly dislike Steve Carell. I can't get around that.
Have you watched The Office though? Because he's really funny.
I've watched clips from it and whatnot, but like, no, it's just
I'm not like a huge Steve Carell fan or anything, but I love The Office.
There's almost
there's
almost nothing he's been in that I've enjoyed, that he's been like, central in.
Yeah, well, me neither.
You know. I don't watch comedy much because I don't get much from it. Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't value laughing, which is weird because like they make me laugh, but I don't know. I watch.
Have you seen Arrested Development?
That's one I started and I did like, but also I don't watch much TV.
When you were talking about the Nice Guys, that's what I was thinking about, because when you were saying like all the little things that you miss and they make you laugh, like that's Arrested Development. I've seen it like 10 times over and I still notice new things that make me laugh. Yeah,
that's when I started, and I do want to
It's
continue.
So good. That's like my number one live action TV show.
Yeah. it's that kind of thing is definitely not for everyone, because I know a lot of people who just like didn't get it. And I know a lot of people didn't get Arrested Development either. Also, in a similar vein, the guy from Seinfeld, not Seinfeld, but the guy that was working on Seinfeld with the white hair.
Oh,
he had his own
Larry
show.
David.
Larry David.
He had
that.
I watched most of it.
What the fuck was it called? Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
That show was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so like I have to pause it and walk away sometimes because it's so goddamn awkward. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was quite the thing. You watched that too. Anyways, we're gonna go. This has been a really long video.
Yes, it has.
Wow, it really has.
Yeah.
Peace. Oh, like.
Comment.
And subscribe.
Or I shoot you.
Nope, don't do that.
Okay, fine. I not shoot you.
It's an expensive camera.
Yeah. Okay, bye.